Hey there, this is Kenny Conley, and welcome to the 90-Day Volunteer Recruiting Challenge, where I am attempting to recruit 50 volunteers over the course of 90 days. And today is day 32, and today I want to talk to you about part of the onboarding process. And one of the steps on my onboarding process is checking references. You know, it's funny because I've been doing some coaching with some other churches over this last year and ran into quite a few churches that they don't check references anymore. Maybe it's because it was too cumbersome or whatever it is. I don't know. I guess I'm maybe an old-fashioned kind of guy. When we are looking to hire somebody, you know, we always check the references. It's always a good step in the process. I'll be perfectly honest. I think there's only been one or two occasions where I've ever had a reference say, hey, wait a second, you might want to ask this person some more questions. But it's just a good process to have in place. I think that when you're talking about safety, security, for the sake of kids, for the next generation, whatever it may be, I just think it's a good idea to check references. You're just having a conversation, make sure that this person's okay. So one of the reasons why I think a lot of people maybe don't do references is because it feels like a cumbersome process of reaching out and connecting with a whole bunch of different people to try to get answers to a couple questions. But I think there's an easier way to do it. So basically, we have a scripted email and a scripted text that when a new volunteer, potential volunteer, fills out our intake form, they list 3 references, and we ask for 3 unrelated references. So we're not asking grandma or dad or spouse. We're checking for people that they're not related to. And the goal is we just want to hear back from 2. So we ask for 3, and as soon as we hear back from 2, then we're good. And so basically what we do is I have a form. Now we use the form through our database, Planning Center Online, which is really convenient because we can tie it into our workflows and things like that, so we can keep track of those things. But you could use a Google form, you could use Wufoo or Jotform or whatever forms that you like to use as a church, and just have that as part of the process. But we basically use a form to ask a handful of questions. We try to make it really simple, really easy. And then we have a scripted email and a scripted text. And the only thing I do is we just change the name of the person that we're reaching out to. And we're changing the name of the person who is applying to become a volunteer. So that email goes out and it says, hey, Mr. Smith, we're reaching out to you to ask you about Janet McAvoy, to find out a couple things. Would you be a reference for this person? And we send out the text and we send out the email, and both of them have a link. And here's what I found, that usually within a couple hours, most people click on the link, fill out the reference, and it's done. Occasionally, maybe 30% of the time, I got to reach out a second time. And if we're only trying to get 2 references, we typically get 2 references when we're reaching out to 3 different people. Every now and again, we don't hear back from somebody. I might have to reach back out to the potential volunteer and ask for them to hit up their reference again, or for them to give us another reference. But usually that works. Usually it moves us along in the process, and we got a reference. So again, is it, you know, a highly critical part of the volunteer onboarding process? No, not really. But it's just another checkbox just to communicate that we value this. I think if there was, you know, a potential volunteer that wished to do harm, having all these processes to vet and to verify person, you know, there's a lot of other places that would be easier to get access to kids. So if we could make it more difficult for them, then we're going to continue to do that. So tomorrow, I'll take you under the hood, let you look at some of the specific form that we use and the scripts and the emails. So stay tuned tomorrow. We'll kind of do a little bit of a deeper dive into our references process for volunteer onboarding. But what about you? Do you still do references? Have you done references? How have they been helpful or not helpful for you?